Hello guys and welcome to another setup video on Assetto Corsa Competizione on the PlayStation 5. Today we are at Snetterton and we're in the BMW M4 GT3 once again. So before you even start a lap here, you want to make sure that you get a good exit from the final corner. So make sure you keep it over to the right hand side before turning in, so you get the best possible line through the final corner and exit onto the start finish straight. We're going to cross the line then to begin the lap, and we're looking over to the left hand side for the 50-meter board. We're going to brake down to a fourth gear and then progressively onto the power until we go full throttle. You want to make sure you don't have to lift off a second time through there. Braking at the 100-meter board down into first gear. You want to just let the car rotate. I got on the power a little bit early here, so just run a little bit wide on the exit, but kind of get away with it. Braking, staying in third gear and just turning in here. Try to keep it a little bit closer than I did there, but you can use the runoff area on the outside with the setup that I'm using. And then braking at the 100-meter board, I've broke just a little bit too late there, gone a little bit deep and probably lost about a tenth and a half through that corner. And then this is another tricky corner, the fast left-hander. You just want to quick dab of the brakes and then try not to take as much runoff as I've used there. Down into second gear and on the power nice and early. This is one of the most important corners of the lap. You want to just let the car rotate. Don't get on the power too early, and you don't want to get on the power too aggressively either. You just want to make sure you get the perfect exit onto the back straight. And then we've got two very tricky corners coming up now. So the first one is this very slight left-hander into a sharp right, and you want to be very progressive on the brakes, using a bit of throttle to control the balance of the car and getting a good exit through there. A little lift here, no need to brake, and then full throttle up into fourth gear. And then we're just going to start progressively lifting off the throttle through the very long right-hander down into third gear. Keep over to the right-hand side, down into second, and then try to get on the power as soon as possible. We've got a very nice exit through there, and you can see on the delta we're gaining time on the previous lap that I've set. I'm going to cross the line to do a 1:45.4. So it's not a bad lap time, but I did lose a couple of tenths in the middle sector. So the track conditions today were optimum on track with 16 degrees ambient and 21 degrees on track. TC was 4 with the ABS on 3, but I would use 5 and 4 during a race. And then we had 16 litres of fuel in the car, which would give 3 flying laps, and brake pads were both type 1. Then with the mechanical grip, I tried to get the car to rotate a little bit more than it did initially, and as always moving the brake bias more towards the rear. The curbs at Snetterton on this game are quite aggressive and bumpy, so with the dampers I've just tried to bring them down a little bit so that the car will handle them nicely and you don't have to worry if you end up going a little bit wide and running over the curb. And then with the aero, I've gone for 6 on the rear wing, so there's enough top end speed on the straights. Rear ride height at 60mm to help with rotation, and then the brake ducts 2 at the rear and 3 at the front for the temperatures that I had today. Thanks for watching guys, give the video a thumbs up if you found it helpful, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already so you don't miss more setup videos like this in the future.